Welcome to another episode of the Federal Church Presents Better Than Bloomberg. Apparently all they're doing on Bloomberg is lying to you too, by the way. You can watch the some of these other shitholer channels, and they're not sugarcoating things or outright lying to you about the complete and utter financial collapse. But this is continued coverage of the World Financial System Collapse 2023. Your banks are failing, and your shit classes are gonna get poorer. Another note, actually this is from Global Macro Monitor. Where's Zero Hedge got this from? That person's blogged there. Interest payments on Treasury debt up 29% year over year. And again, why is this worth noting? Because it demonstrates how much of a shit banana republic the United States is. Absolute shit banana republic and their toiletries. The carry on the toiletries itself is trillions of dollars. Trillions just to fucking service the debt that they've racked up, that they've created. No, not to mention for their useless welfare state, useless leaders, right? But that's how much of a banana republic it is. And now that carry is up 29%. Almost a third of it just increased because it's just an absolute garbage banana republic. Here is a follow-up on last week's chart with some excellent granular detail. Interest payments on the national debt during the current fiscal year, October to February, are up 29% year over year, one of the fastest growing expenditure components of the federal budget. And again, this is to put things in a perspective, where it's such a shit banana republic, it's already up 29% just to service the debt. But they're now going to have to print trillions of dollars to try to backstop, try to bail out banks who did the dipshit trade. Trillions of dollars. So again, the point being, you will see nothing but the shit classes made even poorer than they already are in this banana republic. Which is exactly what they deserve, by the way. So, revenues are down, especially individual income taxes, which may reflect the slowing economy. Theory dictates, ceteris paribus, there's that potion again, that government tax revenues should be rising with inflation. However, the fact that income tax receipts are lower but self-employment tax revenues are higher, coupled with what is happening with the employment data, we can hypothesize that high-income earners are leaving the workforce or getting fired and starting their own businesses, such as consultants, for example. No, that's not what's happening. High-income earners are leaving this third-world shit banana republic because all they're doing is subsidizing the third-world shit banana republic. And of course, they can take their businesses, their jobs elsewhere. I mean, that's one of the perks of being, these people who are actually of value versus what I call the sweatshop workers. These are the imbeciles of America that have no actual skills, no education, nothing to make them valuable whatsoever, in the context of the world. And the only reason why they enjoyed a higher standard of living than they otherwise would have was because the rest of the world subsidized their garbage economy with printed, with the toiletries, where they just simply printed money and people loaned them the money to buy up this garbage toiletries. And now that's come to an abrupt end. That's over. Or could it just be a timing issue? No, it's the fact that nobody worth a damn would ever be in this third world dump. And you can see, even in the last, couple years, it's been tens of thousands of people annually renouncing their citizenship. Because, of course, why would they stick around to subsidize a third world shit imbecile dump that's literally turned into, worse than slums of other third world countries? And the only way they're even, financing any of their garbage third world dump is just by, deficit spending. The overall deficit is exploding, by the way, up 50%. And that was before their bank implosion here, their banking system implosion. So that's not even worth looking at. It's just garbage. It's just absolute garbage. So if the current situation normalizes and the Treasury securities lose their flight to quality bid, which by the way, like in my case where, I'm the most famous fucking person on earth. And the only thing I've seen in the last 10 years are these garbage political parasites, as I call them. And all they're looking for is a fucking handout from the fucking government. Because guess what? Or other taxpayers, I guess. Because they can produce nothing of value on their own. And this is exactly why this garbage third world country is where it is. That is exactly why. These are not people who have anything of value, not just for me, but for the society in which they are just literal parasites in. Parasites off of the rest of the world, too. Because again, the rest of the world just lends them money to have their inflated shit standard of living, where most of the garbage live off of credit, too. I think 90% of them have a negative net worth. And this is exactly why this garbage economy, this shit trash economy, as I put it, is what it is. Oh, not to mention the marching morons, idiocy of that stuff too, by the way, which they'll probably turn that into. That's why it's a third world garbage banana republic. Then again, no person who is not a complete ignoramus would ever think it would be a privilege to be presiding over to garbage third world country. And if the current situation normalizes and Treasury securities lose their flight to quality bid, again, this is a pretty loaded statement too. Toiletries are garbage. Nobody's going to be lending to these people to have an inflated standard of living anymore. Interest rates are going to skyrocket. They're going to spike faster than one of Elon's rockets. Well, yeah. And again, they just become poorer as the shit third world garbage they are. That's all that's it. The shit classes just get fucking poor. The banking system, it should implode. And guess what? Nobody's lending them money to be the shit class of garbage, parasites of the world. And then trying to, just like I was saying, and then trying to tell their creditors, people like China, to give them trillions of dollars a year to let them buy China's manufactured goods, which they can't manufacture themselves. Even if they tried, the capability to make those factories is gone. These people are completely useless. And then they actually thought that they wouldn't just end up as the banana republic they are. This is, an incredibly loaded statement, but, that he's making here. But yeah, their little printed money, house of cards, little, well, the farts too, for that matter. It all just comes crashing down, as it should, because it's absolute garbage, just like their toiletries. And again, it's a good thing because it puts an end to the drain of not just society, but the world. It's just a drain, parasitic, whatever you want to call it, on the world. And now, things are going to equilibrium, so to speak. Which is funny with their woke equality crap too, by the way. But yeah, and it's exactly why they are where they are too. Because they didn't donate to the church. Thinking they'd just be stealing my work for free too. Even the church work. And that's what it is. Just complete and utter parasitism. And it's no longer going to be continuing. As it should. Yeah, donate the Bitcoin link below. Otherwise you do get poor. God said so.